What up guys, Miguel here from Yugatech, and this is the Infinix GT Book. It marks Infinix's debut into the gaming laptop arena, offering a good balance of performance and affordability. Launched on our local shores at a competitive price starting at 64,999 pesos, the GT Book aims to attract budget-conscious PC gamers and productivity enthusiasts alike. But could this be the best budget gaming laptop Filipinos can buy in 2024? Let's find out. The Infinix GT Book, with its 16-inch display and 14-inch chassis, is a bit on the heavier side at nearly 2 kilograms. Its lid and base are made out of aluminum to ensure durability, although the keyboard deck is made out of plastic. The plastic does not necessarily feel fragile, but it does flex when pushing hard enough. We've even noticed that pressing around the trackpad can even actuate either the left or right click depending on where you press. And what we mean is, like, if you press on these areas, we can make it click. Let me show you. Listen to this. The design is moderately sleek and understated, featuring a gray finish with subtle patterns and chromed up half circles here at the center or the middle of the lid. Orange accented venting and even rubber feet can be found at the bottom, and a strip of RGB lighting can be found here at the rear, adding a touch of flair, which can be turned off if unwarranted. In our opinion, the overall aesthetic is restrained enough to appeal to those who prefer a minimalist look over a typical gaming laptop's flashy design. The Infinix GT Book's chassis reminds us of something from Lenovo's Legion lineup of gaming terminals, which technically isn't really a bad thing. We can only hope that Infinix finds a way to add more structural integrity for the keyboard deck in future iterations. For I/O, connectivity options on the GT Book are somewhat limited for its size. Starting on the left, it features a DC-in, an HDMI 2.0 port, a USB-A port, that's a USB 3.2 Gen 2, and a single USB Type-C display port that features power delivery. Found on the right side is a Kensington lock, a second USB-A port, that's a USB 3.2 Gen 1, a 3.5mm combo audio jack, and a full-sized SD card reader. There is no Ethernet port found here on either sides, meaning end users will need reliable Wi-Fi for online gaming. The lack of a more extensive array of ports could be a downside for some users, especially those who rely on wired connections or need multiple USB ports for peripherals. Alternatively, end users can opt for dongles or hubs if ever they want or need more port selections. The GT Book features a 16-inch 1920 by 1200 resolution IPS LCD display that sports up to a 120Hz refresh rate. Users may choose to set it to 60Hz if needed. The display offers good color accuracy with 100% of sRGB coverage and a peak brightness of 300 nits, making it suitable for indoor use. However, we have noticed some ghosting or trailing, which could prove to be an issue in competitive FPS titles. Found at the top bezel is a 2-megapixel Full HD webcam, adequate for video calls or Zoom meetings. We think Infinix missed out on the opportunity to add a privacy cover and indicator light here. But of course, there's no problem just using a slim post-it note to solve 2/3 of that nitpicky issue. Testing. This is the webcam sample using the Infinix GT Book. The stereo speakers, enhanced by the pre-installed DTS app, deliver loud and clear sound, but can sometimes sound muddy depending on the media. The speakers definitely get loud enough to fill an office cubicle, but separation or clarity in resolution isn't more than satisfactory. In the Philippines, the GT Book is available in 2 configurations: the mid-tier Core i5-13420H paired with an RTX 4050 GPU, and the high-end Core Core i9-13900H with an RTX 4060. The major difference between 13th and 14th generation Intel mobile CPUs are bumps in clock speeds. So the decision to go with 13th generation processors was not the biggest deal for us. Our review unit is configured with an Intel Core i9-13900H paired with the NVIDIA RTX 4060 GPU. The i9-13900H with its 14-core design, which is 6 performance cores and 8 efficiency cores, delivers exceptional performance for both gaming and productivity tasks. The mid variant comes with 16GB of LPDDR5X memory and 512GB of PCIe 4.0 NVMe SSD storage. The high-end model offers 32GB of 6400MHz LPDDR5X memory, which are Samsung sticks, and 1TB of the aforementioned PCIe 4 NVMe SSD storage. The high-end configuration of the GT Book provides ample memory and fast storage, ensuring smooth multitasking and quick load times for games and applications. Unfortunately, the memory on either configurations are soldered, which means RAM is not upgradable on either GT Book units. The SSD can be swapped for a larger capacity, providing some upgrade flexibility. There are 3 performance modes to switch between in the Infinix Control Center app: Office, Performance, and Gaming mode. For most of our testing with the GT Book, we had it in gaming mode. But when checking on power options in the control panel, only a balanced option was available. However, we did find more power options within Windows system settings. We also found a virtual mux switch in the system settings within the Infinix Control Center app, allowing users to switch between a dynamic graphics mode, integrated GPU only, or dedicated GPU. We obviously went with the dedicated GPU option during most of our testing. And when it came to gaming, we haven't played too many games on our unit so far, but we have bagged a number of wins in some extensive Tekken 8 online matches at a stable 59 frames per second with no issues. We've also clocked in a few hours of Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 at a stable average of 70 frames per second throughout our sessions. This thing had no problems running Valorant either,
at a stable 130 frames per second average.
But again, that ghosting issue, well, it's kind of annoying, and I think it has something to do with the response times, so not really the most ideal, again, for a competitive FPS title. But that doesn't mean we can't win matches either. Additionally, we've also used the GT Book to edit 4K Yugatech videos via the Adobe CC Suite and found no major issues in our creative workflow. The Infinix GT Book's chiclet-style keyboard includes a 10-key number pad and RGB lighting split into 1, 2, 3, 4 zones, customizable via the Infinix Control Center app. The keys have decent travel and feedback, not too deep nor shallow. In our opinion, having a number pad here is great. I love numpads, but we aren't the biggest fans of the off-centered left trackpad placement. Just preference. I mean, they could have slimmed down the trackpad and centered it. Nonetheless, it wasn't the biggest issue, giving us good impressions of its palm rejection. The trackpad measures 117 by 75 millimeters. It is smooth, responsive, and supports all standard Windows trackpad gestures. Now, our biggest gripe might just be the font of the keyboard letters and symbols. And we also don't like how the placements of the aforementioned letters and symbols aren't uniform across the keyboard. Like, some are centered and bigger, most are shifted to the left, and some to the right, which honestly drives my OCD a little nuts. So maybe they'll fix it in the next iterations. Either way, if you don't have that issue, it's a good keyboard and a trackpad overall in terms of functionality. The GT Book is equipped with a 70 watt-hour battery. It offers about 5 to 8 hours of battery life for basic productivity tasks like web browsing or research and writing or editing documents. However, battery life drops to around an hour and a half during demanding gaming sessions and post-production work. In hindsight, most gaming PC owners already know that to get the most out of their terminals when it comes to gaming or video editing means having to plug in a charger for extra power. And it's no different with the Infinix GT Book. It utilizes a 190 watt charger users can plug into the DC in barrel port on the left side. The charger itself is on the larger side, and it feels as though it didn't have to be so big, but maybe cost cuts were made here. For software, the GT Book runs on Windows 11 Home Edition. The GT Book also comes with minimal bloatware. The pre-installed apps include the Infinix Control Center for adjusting power modes and lighting settings, the Infinix PC Connection app, and software for the bundled gaming mouse. These apps are useful, but can be uninstalled if not needed, allowing users to enjoy an even more clean and bloat-free experience. In the Philippines, the GT Book is available again in two configurations. We have the high-end variant that features a Core i9-13900H and an NVIDIA RTX 4060 GPU, like we have here. This guy goes for 84,999 pesos. The more affordable configuration of the Infinix GT Book on our local shores features a Core i5-13420H and an NVIDIA RTX 4050 GPU. That goes for 64,999 pesos. So to conclude this review, the Infinix GT Book is a commendable entry into the gaming laptop segment, offering good quality, a decent display, and competitive performance at attractive price points. Despite the limited connectivity options or ports and slow display response times or that weird ghosting effect, the keyboard and trackpad are well designed enough, and the overall package is dare I say, appealing. For budget-conscious gamers and productivity users in the Philippines, the Infinix GT Book is actually a pretty strong contender, especially when factoring in similar spec laptops like the Lenovo Legion 5i or Legion 7i, the Asus ROG Strix G16, and the MSI Raider GE68HX13VF. This thing can handle most of our usual games and applications with marginally no issues. Although for prospecting buyers, we definitely recommend checking the laptop out in person if possible, because even though the GT Book isn't the most expensive gaming terminal out there, it is still a potential customer's due diligence to get the best look before purchasing. But do we recommend the Infinix GT Book? Yeah. I mean, if this is all your budget can go, it's actually a pretty solid gaming laptop. I think I already said that. So what do you guys think of the Infinix GT Book? Would you cop this laptop for yourself? Let us know in the comments section below. But if you found this video informative, educational, or fun, be sure to smack that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that bell icon so you get notified of our future uploads. Be sure to visit yugatech.com and follow us on our socials. That is Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok for the latest tech news and reviews. Once again, this has been the Infinix GT Book! And I've been Miguel, and I will see you in the next one.